part of it was what I just talked about, just kind of finding my spots and things like that. And then just I don't know. I mean, just I never really got to a point where I was consistently shooting the ball the way I can. But I think it's just it was maybe that type of season, and just I think that adjustment. I think at times maybe I was overthinking it a little bit when I didn't start shooting the way I wanted to, and you kind of want things to happen right away, and you want to get going right away, and it didn't. And maybe you start overthinking things, and the shots sometimes you're taking are not the ones you're used to, and things like that. But it was just I think mainly just finding my way within the team, finding my rhythm within the team, making sure I get a good mix of playing inside and outside. I felt like at times sometimes I was trying to space too much and not thinking other things I could do. So a little mix of things, but yeah, nothing too worried about. I know I can shoot the ball really well. I know how effective I can be from there. It's just finding a good mix of both.
From an organization standpoint, do you have clarity on what the plan is in terms of how they want to build? I mean, they went out and got you in a surprise move. We thought it was going to be about player development, one with the youth movement, and they bring you in. Then they go out and get DeMar and Lonzo. Now we don't know what they're going to do with something. Do you have clarity on how they're planning on building this thing?
Well, I know that. I mean, they want to have continuity. That's for sure. They want to see what this group can do as far as moves and stuff. They're gonna make that. I don't really know. That's their job. But I know they want to continue to build a team that can win and compete for the to the highest level. So that's the goal. Obviously, I mean they've shown that in the last year and a half or so. And so I think that's gonna continue to be their goal. I think that's more of a question for AK and Mark. But for sure, the goal is to continue to make this team better, so we can come back next year, be a better team, and hopefully go further.
You mentioned that last night, and that's been a season-long theme from coaches and players, that the good teams have been together a while, and this was your guys' first season together. Did you already have your exit?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So did you get the sense, like you just said, that management's committed to that as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think almost all the great teams. They're built over time. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens over a year. It's very rare. You need to have that continuity. You need to give teams a chance to go through the up and downs of season, playoffs, tough moments, good moments, getting to build that chemistry. It doesn't happen just like that. You have to work it. You have to go through the grind of the season. You have to do all that to get there. And I think they know that. I think that was kind of the message in when we talked about in exit meetings. So yeah, I think I think that the core guys we have here are really good players. I think we can really work well together. It's just about taking that next step forward now.
Following up on that, you're extension eligible this offseason. I know that's an agent question and agency, but how will you approach that with your own conversations with your representation and the organization?
I haven't even thought about it, so we'll see when if that time comes and they want to talk, then I'll sit down with my agent, my family, and discuss it and see what we can do.
You got the chance to play a full season with Zach this year. Now, what do you see in him that you'd like to see him take the next step? What would you like to see him do next season?
I think it was. I think for Zach it was just tough when his knee thing happened. He was in and out a lot, and so I think the issue there is we never really got a chance to establish, all of us, that chemistry. I think that could have been better for all of us. I think that just, this is just the way it was. The injuries and COVID and all that happened. I mean, he got COVID 3 times in 9 months. I mean, talk about bad luck, but it's just I think that kind of I think if we had a little more time there and we could have done more, that could have helped us. But I mean, I think Zach's a hell of a player. I think he's taken a huge step forward this year. It was a new situation for him, where he's gone from kind of rebuilding teams to like win now, and I think he's handled it really well. He played really well for us. I mean, I just wanted him to continue to be who he is, to play to his level. I think at times the only thing I'll say is sometimes he was trying to facilitate for others too much instead of being himself and just playing off his instincts and playing off his aggressiveness. And I know that just came from a good place for him, trying to be unselfish and getting everybody to fit. But we always told him throughout the year, you have to be you. You have to, go attack, be aggressive, and then you'll make the right reads at the time moment. So that's the only thing that I would tell him, just because he's so talented offensively. He has to be who he is, and we just have to play off him. That's the only thing.
I'm sorry. Do you think some of that was just him having to make room for DeMar?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I think that was the case for everybody. Just the adjustment. Like I said, he was trying to, get everybody involved and make sure everybody get adjusted to playing one another and all that. And that's all part of it. And I think that was the case for all of us. And we all were trying to figure it out as the season went on and playing with one another, getting to know one another, building that chemistry. And I think we do have a good group of guys that's unselfish and wants to play the right way. And sometimes it takes time. And I think as the more we play together, the more we'll have an understanding of how we can still all be ourselves and still be aggressive and effective within the team game and within, without it hurting our chemistry. So it's just a process. It takes time. And like I said, I think just not to make it an excuse or anything. It's just, at times it was hard for us to figure that out because we just consistently never really were able to put that in, a good amount of games together to kind of see, the COVID and then injuries and things like that. So sometimes it was a little tricky.
Patrick was telling us that he would gain confidence the more he could feel his presence on both ends of the floor for his age, and to have guys like you and Demar and Rudy and the veterans that are carrying the team. How do you feel like he could go about doing that even more on a consistent basis when he's healthy?
I think it's hard to really for Pat because I mean he missed like 65 or so games and he comes back. He's trying to get his just get back in game shape and get his rhythm back. I thought we saw some really good glimpses of what Pat could really be, and especially the last couple of games in the playoffs. I mean he's the sky's the limit for him. I mean the way his body is, his athleticism, very hard worker, understands the game really well. So it's hard to really talk about Pat and what he could have done and what he did because it was such a small sample. But I think for us as veterans, we the main guys of the team going into next year, we have to find a way to how to input Pat in our game and use him the right way so he can be who he is and excel because he can be a huge part of what we're trying to do.
Which I wanted to ask about Pat too, just because when you went from Philly to Orlando early in your career, you made a couple big jumps, early on in your career. What advice would you give Pat going into this offseason and going into this third season?
Just to continue to work on his game, work on his strengths, his weaknesses, work on his body. Just the work. That's the only way to do it. I mean, study the game, watch film, study other players, players that you could kind of play alike, and things like that. I mean, there's no secret to it. I mean, it's really work, consistent work, and in the end, it will pay off. I mean, I think we saw as Pat was getting back and playing more and more. He was feeling more like himself and being himself. And it's just when you're young, sometimes it takes time. And I think for him, his potential is huge. It really sucks. This could have been a really great year for him to play alongside all of us and play for to win and everything. But just injuries are part of it. So I think for him, this summer will be huge to really get ready. I'm sure he's really motivated for next year to come back and show what he can really do.
We're going to take one more from Zoom. Joe, go ahead.
Booch, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, real quick, just to kind of play devil's advocate in this. I know you aren't the GM, and the feeling is that they're looking to probably bring this core back based on that small sample size of how you guys did when you guys were all healthy and stuff. What kind of dangerous leap of faith could that be, though, in an Eastern Conference that probably is only getting better into next season? Why do you think this group can work as is? For the most part, there may be some tweaks, or they may, but for the most part, what would be your argument? Yeah, that this group can get it done in the East.
I think, you look at the players we have, the talent we have. I mean, it's a lot of good players, a lot of players that have, had success throughout the career. You see the group of guys that we have, where a lot of, guys that are willing to sacrifice to win, guys that get along well, and it's just based off that. I think that we do have a talent to match up with all the teams in the East. Obviously, this year, it didn't go the way we wanted it. But like I mean, I said even last night and today, nothing happens overnight. Nothing happens over one season. It takes time. You have to, as a group, you have to go through the ups and downs of a year, the successes, the failures, whatever it is. All that gives you an opportunity to grow and get better. And I think for us, I think that's what can really happen. I think we just have good players on this team, and that's kind of the base of it. That's kind of what you need to have success. And then hopefully, we can continue to grow and be, better as a team as we continue to play together. And this year, obviously, we never really got a chance to see the full strength of this team, and we believe that we have the pieces needed to build a successful group. So I think all the guys are motivated. So yeah, I don't see any reason or anything that's happened for us to panic and take the group apart.
Thanks, Vooch. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, Vooch.
Thank you guys. Have a good summer.
Wow. Thanks, man, for everything. Dude, have a good off.